Can anybody help me? Please. I didn't want this. I didn't want any of this. Please. Help. Help.
Hello there. It's Monday, March 2nd. It's about 1:44 p.m. and I just came back from seeing Maggie Gyllenhaal as the bride with exclamation points. I am not a fan of Monday morning screenings, as some might know. I hate dealing with the subways on a Monday morning during rush hour. I hate seeing movies on Monday morning. That said, I did kind of go into this with a little more open mind. I definitely was in a better mood than I normally would be on a Monday morning. It is my birthday today. Happy birthday to me. I get to see a lot of my friends and hang out, so it was a more relaxed Monday morning screening than normal. I wasn't just rushing over there. I wasn't just, in a bad mood. Actually, was a pretty good mood. So I was pretty open-minded. There was a lot of things about this movie I was really kind of curious about. I've seen the trailer for this movie maybe 100 times. It's just one of these trailers just gets shown over and over at the theater where I go to see movies. And it didn't look like terrible. It didn't look great. It looked very weird. It looked like it could be like a strange mix of things, and I was kind of right there. In case you don't know, The Bride stars Jessie Buckley as the title character. The Bride stars Christian Bale as the husband. How's that? He does play a character named Frankenstein, not Frankenstein's monster. He's taking the name Frankenstein. Apparently, he is the same Frankenstein from Mary Shelley's book. Even though this isn't based on Mary Shelley so much, it's a very strange thing. It takes place in 30s Chicago. It involves Christian Bale's Frankenstein going to a doctor played by Annette Bening to try to create him a bride, which is in very fact the same premise of the James Whale movie from the 30s, and it's also derived from Mary Shelley's book. So it is kind of an adaptation, but I don't think Mary Shelley's getting credit. I don't think the whoever wrote the James Whale Bride of Frankenstein is getting credit. But it is a very different movie because it combines Frankenstein and his unwilling bride from those Mary Shelley and James Whale with some like 30s Chicago gangster movie and some musicals. So it takes inspiration from MGM musicals and has Jake Gyllenhaal playing Ronnie Reed, who's like a kind of a big star of those musicals, and Frankenstein's a fan of his. I don't know how much I want to get to the plot of it. I mean, it kind of starts out with Jessie Buckley's character named Ida getting sexually harassed by a mobster, and then when she doesn't put out, she gets killed. There's kind of an accident. She falls downstairs, breaks her neck. Then we meet Christian Bale's Frankenstein. He goes to Annette Bening with his plea to get a bride, basically because he wants to get laid. I mean, that's pretty bluntly, that's what's going on here. And so they dig up Ida's body and they revive her, and she becomes a bride. And then there's the movie. I don't know. It's hard to really say too much about it. It's one of these movies like I don't know. It was really spoilers. I mean, if you see the trailer, you know what you're gonna get. You're gonna get this 30s crime gangster thing. A very Bonnie and Clyde type thing going on. There's going to be this musical stuff, which you also see in the trailer, which is like very much like Frankenstein loves films. He loves these musicals. He loves Jake Gyllenhaal's character, Ronnie Reed. And this kind of reminded me of Damien Chazelle's Babylon, which I actually really liked a lot. And it also reminded me of like the movies of Baz Luhrmann, who I also love. I'm a huge fan of his movies. And it's kind of Maggie Gyllenhaal kind of taking all these different elements of like 30s movies, musicals, and Bonnie and Clyde and gangsters and Mary Shelley, and then kind of creating this kind of strange, weird, mix of things that doesn't always work. And that's kind of the big problem. It's got tonal issues. It's trying to be funny sometimes. It's trying to be serious sometimes. It's trying to deal with like women being sexually abused and harassed and attempted rape, and them fighting back against it and trying to stand up for themselves. So it's got this feminist thing, which I think women will generally like. I think it's a great swing by Maggie Gyllenhaal to try to do something different. I just don't know how many people actually like this. I think some people will really love it. Some people will absolutely hate it. I was kind of in the middle, but I was definitely more on the kind of range of things. I will say that Maggie's husband, Peter Sarsgaard, plays a detective named Jake, who kind of is following this case with his quote unquote secretary, played by Penelope Cruz. I guess she plays a character named Myrna. And they're kind of following these two monsters. They're, Frankenstein and the bride kind of go on a killing spree Part of it is out of just self-defense. Part of it is just, because they're kind of crazy. And again, that's got the Bonnie and Clyde thing going on. And I would normally like that. And I would normally like the strangeness of it. I should add that it's a little strange that this movie set in the 30s, based around the Frankenstein mythos, comes out less than a year after Ryan Coogler's Sinners, which is such a vampire story within 30s gangster mythos. And I think, apparently Coogler and Gyllenhaal did like a Q&A or something where they were talking about, shooting in IMAX and all this other stuff. But Ryan Coogler's Sinners, which may win Best Picture in a couple weeks, is just a better movie. It's a better movie. It's better done. Handles the tone much better. It mixes these different elements much better, which is a shame because I think that I'm glad Maggie Gyllenhaal tried this, but it just didn't work. And again, coming out in the shadow of Sinners is not going to help it at all. So, honestly, I think a lot of it's kind of trying to be Young Frankenstein. It has more in common with Young Frankenstein than it does the James Whale movie. It even has a musical number which is clearly inspired by Young Frankenstein, but it's just not as funny, and that's the problem. I think it's trying to be these different things, and Maggie Gyllenhaal is trying to combine them into something which is kind of wacky and crazy and unique, and it is wacky and crazy, unique, but it's not necessarily likable. It's kind of just I don't know. This is kind of something you watch and you kind of follow. Again, the tone is all over the place, and there's so much that's all over the place that it's just hard to really, really connect with anyone or anything. And because of that, I have to like not give it a positive review. I have to give it like a 5.5 out of 10 because I don't think I'd see this movie again. I don't know if I'd recommend this movie to anyone necessarily. I think some people are going to find it and love it. Good for them. I'm happy for them. I'm just not one of those people. And again, because of that, 5.5 out of 10. It opens on Friday, March 6th. I wish it well. I just don't think it's a very good movie.
Stop right there!
The dead have got something to say. And I'm saying it.
The bride of Frankenstein.
No, just the bride.
Scared.
If you're blue and you don't know where to go to, why don't you go where fashion sits? Different types who wear a day coat, pants with stripes, or cutaway coat, perfect fits. Dressed up like $1 million trooper, trying mighty hard to look like Gary Cooper. Come, let's mix where Rockefellers walk with sticks or umbrellas in their midst.